Ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be a quick little video. I just want to rank every single fight on UFC 330, excluding one, just fill out, Charles Johnson versus Jose Ochoa, just fill out. I think his new opponent is Jose Henrique, something like that, LFA fighter, but he's not on here. I don't have him on here. I just thought, hey, I should do this for every pay-per-view. Do a quick little video ranking every single fight. It's not my prediction. My prediction video is not going to be out today. It's going to be out tomorrow. I'm recording this on Wednesday. I'm going to upload this on Thursday, and my prediction video will be out on Friday. But fuck it, man. I just thought I'd start doing this for every pay-per-view, ranking every fight based on hype and like how I am excited for it. So let's just get right to it with the first fight of the night. Mytek Orlobai versus Jeremiah Wells. I'm not that excited for this fight. I think the only thing... I'm going to put this in C tier. I think the only thing that's, keeping this from D tier is Orlobai. He's a caveman, man. And he... Yes, his last fight against Chris Curtis wasn't the most entertaining. It was a snooze fest, but it was dominant. And I feel like... I'm gonna try not to say anything that gives away my prediction. You know what I mean? But I don't think this is gonna be that entertaining. But Orlobai, he's a tough motherfucker, and he's strong as fuck, and he's powerful. So maybe we can get a finish. Jeremiah Wells. I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised if we see an upset from Jeremiah Wells. It's not a very 50-50 fight. More like 80-20, you know what I mean? But fuck it, we could see it. It's gonna go in C tier. Orlobai being Orlobai saves it from being D tier. Neil Magny versus Ramiz Brahimaj. I think this is gonna go in... I think I'm gonna put this in C tier. I do. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a little better than Jeremiah Wells or Orlobai. But I do think it's going to be a bit entertaining because sometimes Neil Magny can make it stinky and Brahimaj can make it stinky. But I do feel like there's going to be an exciting point in this fight. And I could just feel it. I'm getting spidey senses. My spidey tingle. You know what I mean? But it's fucking Neil Magny. Maybe we could see if he gets flatline KO'd. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if he does get flatline KO'd, maybe we could see a retirement for Neil Magny. And I like Neil Magny. He's a crafty fucking vet, man. How can you not love a crafty vet? But I think this is going to be C tier. Tobias versus Fernando. This is going in D tier. Rafael Tobias. Why the fuck is this guy on a pay-per-view? His last fight was on a pay-per-view. I think it was 326. Against Dr. Nurgajai, who just flatlined Bruno Lopez. But that was a bit of a lackluster fight. You know what I mean? It wasn't the most boring, but it wasn't bad. Rafael Tobias, he's just not UFC level. And it's just so surprising that the guy who beat him was on an Apex fight night, while the guy who lost and did not look UFC ready at all is on a pay-per-view. It doesn't make any sense at all. And Fernando... this could be a striker fight, like a fun little striker fight where someone could get knocked out. I definitely see the high possibility of someone getting knocked out, but it's just, these are bottom of the barrel fighters who most likely, I know Tobias definitely doesn't belong in the UFC, but I don't think Fernando belongs in it either. He's had a couple bad fights against pretty good opponents. Cesar Almeida. I'm forgetting the second one on the Contender Series, I think. I'm blanking on it. But I'm just not excited. Vicente Luque versus Treson Gore. This is actually going to go in B tier. I'm actually kind of hyped for this fight. I think this is going to be a good one. Treson Gore, he looked pretty good in his last performance against a guy who at once... we would say he's probably better than Vicente Luque and would probably maybe even finish Vicente Luque in Azamat Bekayev. But, he kind of got fraud checked a little bit. Vicente Luque, though, he just KO'd. Oh, no, he didn't KO. He knocked down and submitted Kelvin Gastelum, which is still somewhat impressive, Kelvin KG Gastelum beat a guy that's on the main card in Dustin Stolfus. So that was kind of impressive. Treson Gore, tough as shit. You know, he can get knocked down. Maybe he gets knocked down in this fight, but he's going to get back up. And I'm just really excited. Even though, you know, I used to think going into the KG fight with Luke A2, I thought that he was washed. I thought he was getting on to the older side. I thought he was going to lose. But then he pulls out a nice, crafty left hook, or it was a left or a right hook, knocks him down, then submits him with a Darce choke. The Darce Knight still has it. But I think this is going to be a good fight. I'm excited for this. Next up, Dante Johnson versus Eric Makanico. This is going to go into C tier. I don't think this is going to be the best fight. I think it might be a little bit of a snoozer. I'm not going to lie. Dante Johnson, not a good fighter. Eric Makanico, decent fighter. You know, there's like no aura. There's no, I don't know. There's just nothing. When I look at this fight, I'm just like, dude, this belongs in the apex, you know? I get it. Dante Johnson's undefeated. I guess that makes it a bit better. That makes it a bit entertaining, because it's always entertaining to see an undefeated guy fight, because especially someone like Dante Johnson, where he's definitely lacking in a lot of areas, so we could see him lose. So that's a possibility. I think that is why I'm making it C tier, not D tier. Just the undefeated record is on the line. And hey, who knows? Jalen Turner versus Kyle Fernandez. This is going to be a fucking banger. If you know, you know. To be honest, I think this is S tier. I really do. If you know these guys, if you know these fighters, I don't know, maybe A tier. Because, you know, this is not a prediction video, but Jalen Turner, he's very questionable with heart sometimes, so we could see him lose due to just giving up. But nevertheless, this is still a great fight. If you guys know these fighters, Kyle Fernandez, great leg kicks, great kicker. Jalen Turner just has so much power. He's an elite striker and everything. The heart is questionable, like I said. But I'm super excited for this fight. I really am. I think it's going to be a great fight. If you don't know, you got to know now. Next up, Chidi Njokuani versus Yoel Alvarez. I think this is a B tier fight. Honestly, at first it was going to be a little burpy, sorry. Jeff Neal versus Chidi Njokuani. I think that would be a good fight too. I like Yoel Alvarez. I really do. I think he's elite. I picked him to beat Amosov. I just, you know, I didn't really realize how good Amosov was. I knew he was good, but I didn't realize how good he was. And then he goes out there and he dominates Yoel Alvarez. Chidi Njokuani, he has great Muay Thai. Just not a lot of power. He's great Muay Thai, not a lot of power. And I think it's going to be a fun fight that has a lot of striking. Maybe we see Yoel go to the grappling. And if he goes to the grappling, I don't see this being a smudge grappling performance from Yoel Alvarez, you know? And I think Chidi Njokuani, he's just a really good fighter. Both of these guys are really good. I'm excited. I like Yoel Alvarez. He always brings it. He's very entertaining. So, yeah. Then we're moving on to Esteban Ribovics versus Edson Barboza. I blanked on his name. I think this is going to go B tier too. Not A tier. Definitely not A tier. Because, you know, let's be real. It's Edson Barboza, super old. At once, like a year ago, he had a great fucking performance against Sadiq Youssef. People forget, man, that was a crafty performance from Edson Barboza. That was a great performance. And he always brings it. And he looks fucking good. Pause. Meaning like he's old, but he looks like he's 26, you know? He's still with it. So give him some credit there. I think it's going to be a good fight. Then I don't think it's the featured fight. I think it's the fourth fight. Mansour Abdel Malik versus Dustin Stolfus. This is going to be C tier. Honestly, no, I think this is going to be C tier. I'm just not that excited for this fight. The only reason I'm putting it in C tier is because, you know, we're probably going to get a knockout. I get it. That's it. You know, that's it. We're probably going to get a fucking knockout. But I'm going with C tier. Moving on to the co-main. This might be a hot take, but I really think this is going to be a banger fight. Can I switch these around? Yes, I can. Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. I think this is going to be a banger, man. Both of these guys, both of these fighters not guys, both of these women, they do scrap. They do fight. They do push the pace. Even the BJJ, a lot of these, Jillian Robertson might be a little bit of a smudge, but it's to the point where Mackenzie Dern is that good of a BJJ artist that it's not going to be, I think there's going to be good scrambles. I think there's going to be a lot of striking. It could be really entertaining. I think it's going to be a scrap. Mackenzie Dern kind of had a little bit of an entertaining performance against Jandiroba. And yeah, I just have a weird feeling that this is going to be a really good fight. And yeah, this is, to be honest, it's just a placeholder. Whoever wins this is a placeholder for Wei Lee to come back and beat them. Wei Lee, my GOAT. But I just have a good feeling this is going to be a scrap back and forth. I think the grappling, the scrambles, they're going to be really entertaining. Throwing up submissions. Sometimes I feel like there's going to be a submission where it looks really in and then the other fighter gets out and everyone's like, whoa, how tough are these women, man? Joe Rogan's going to be having a day. He's going to be like, man, how tough is Mackenzie Dern, man? Jillian Robertson, what a demon. I think it's just going to be a banger, man. I'm excited for it. Actually, I'm actually excited, yeah. And moving on to the main event, you got to give it S tier. It's a thing that is kind of holding this entire card together. I think this is going to be a banger. And it has so much on the line, too, Ian Gary. This could be the best win in UFC history if Gary beats Islam. Islam, if he beats Gary, holds the record for the most consecutive wins. The biggest win streak. Beats Anderson Silva, who he's now tied with. If he beats Gary, he's the new champ. And on top of that, GOAT status is on the line. If he finishes Gary, he's going to be the GOAT, man. I think he's going to be the GOAT. I'm going to make a video about it. This video is going to be uploaded on Thursday, but it's Wednesday right now. I'm going to be making a video after this where I'm going to be uploading on that, talking about is Islam Makhachev the GOAT, and could he be the GOAT after if he defeated Gary? So stay tuned for that. Or not stay tuned. Go watch that back if you haven't watched it, I guess. Jesus. But I'm really excited for this fight. And it's very hard to predict, too. I've been watching tape, and I'm going back and forth, back and forth. It's not easy. There's not a single thing where I could be like, this is definitely going to happen. I don't know. It's very tough. It's a very close matchup, too. Especially at welterweight. The reach, the height, whatever, the size. A lot of people don't think it plays a big part, but it definitely will in this fight because the welterweights nowadays are fucking massive and have a long reach. And Ian Gary, he's a slick striker. He beat Carlos Prates, one of the best wins in UFC history. One of the best Asian wins, I should say. So it's going to be a banger nonetheless. Thank you guys for watching. Quick little video. I think I'm going to be doing this for every pay-per-view. Just ranking my excitement for each fight. Letting you guys know how I think about each fight. And, hey, comment down what you guys think of each fight. Which fight do you think is going to be the best? Let me know in the comments. See you guys later. Peace.